Good morning. There's something really beautiful and endearing about the repetition of Martha's name by our Lord. It expresses a tenderness and a delight. Martha, Martha. And it encourages her to know, and it encourages us all to know, that the words that follow are loving, that the words that follow are meant for her good, not merely as a rebuke or a chiding, but as something she needs to hear. They're spoken out of love. Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried. Lord, I'm not anxious and worried. In fact, I kind of wish Mary would be a little more anxious and worried. Right? That's the sense. That's what Martha's complaining about. Is that Mary doesn't feel the pressure I feel. She should get with it. And our Lord understands that. He understands what Martha is saying. In fact, there's something of, not only does Mary not seem to care, but our Lord. Lord, do you not care? Is what she asks. Do you not care that my sister has left me by myself to do all the serving? Do you not care? See, what underlies Martha's concern isn't just the fact that she's got a lot to do. It's that people don't care about the lot she's got to do. And she's concerned the Lord doesn't care about the lot she's got to do. Tell her to help me. And in the midst of her focusing on this, our Lord cuts right through it lovingly. Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things. There is need of only one thing. We all need to hear this, and we all need to realize that we are anxious and worried about many things. Anybody here have a life? Anybody here not have a life? Maybe that's an easier question to ask. Anybody? Doesn't have anything to do any day at all? No, we all come here this morning and every day when we come to church, we come with a whole life full of stuff going on. Different things we've got to do, different things we've been doing, things that are weighing on us, things that are weighing on us. Past things, future things, present things, lots of things. We're scattered, we're having difficulty focusing. The perennial problem of distractions in prayer. Lord, do you not care? And he says, you're anxious and worried. Focus on the one thing that matters. The one thing. What is that? I'm here. I'm right here. Our Lord is saying, I'm right here. I have an address in Stillwater. I live here in your midst. There are two kinds of spiritual, what we call sloth, or spiritual laziness. And what we tend to think of as sloth is the kind of spiritual laziness that is, well, I'm too tired to get up. I really just can't spend the effort. I don't have enough energy to do X, Y, or Z. That's what we tend to think of. We tend to think of laziness as sloth, and sloth as laziness merely. But there is a second kind of sloth which is much more insidious. It's much more pervasive, especially in our society. And that is the sloth of, just a moment, I got a lot of stuff to do. When I finish this email, send, and now I got to run and do this and drop so-and-so off and get over here and make sure this happens and I got to over here. And I'm being very efficient with it all. But I don't have time to pray. Are you kidding? I've got a life to live. I've got so much going on in my life. I don't have time to pray. I've got this trip and we got to get here and we got to make sure we fly out. And we just didn't get to Mass. It's all the clutter and all of the busyness that is really an avoidance of God. And really an avoidance of the simple fact that there is one thing that matters, and that is that God is here. And he asks us, he rather commands us to come here today by way of saying, time out, pause. And all of the busy and all the chaos and the exhaustion that we are constantly heaping up. We get done with all this stuff and we try to rest by doing more stuff, by engaging in all sorts of activities that wear us out even more. It's like someone who goes on vacation. We've all had this experience, right? You go on vacation and you come home from vacation and need a vacation from the vacation. What is at the heart of this? It is the fact that our hearts, as St. Augustine says, are restless until, and only until they rest in Him. Our hearts are restless until they rest in Thee, oh my God. And nothing in this world will satisfy, and nothing in this world will give us peace, and we'll just be in the rat race with never an end until we learn that there is one thing that is needed, and we come to Him. The reason we come to Mass to begin with isn't just so we check our lives at the door, it's so that we can come in and be with the one who made us, knows us, loves us, wants us to be happy, and knows that our only happiness, our only peace of heart comes from union with Him, from closeness with Him. And so He wants us to set aside other things in order to find our true rest, our true source of sustenance in Him, and then discover that when we come forth from the Holy Mass, we are refreshed and ready to go. When we come forth from Sunday, we are rested for the week and ready to take it on with great endurance and great joy. I think one of the main things, if there's anything I would like to encourage us all today, it's simply to be here when you're here. For example, when I was in seminary, one of the things we were told by the priest who was teaching us the class on how to say Mass, it was a class in seminary, how to say Mass, and the course on the Holy Eucharist. And the priest professor of the class said, "Gentlemen, when you're saying Mass, take your watch off. Take it off. You are leaving Chronos, you are entering Kairos. You are leaving the tick, 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 tick kind of time, and you're entering into the eternal now of God. Don't rush it." It was explicit. And so I always take my watch off before I say Mass. What's amazing is that priests learn this in seminary, and then they come into priestly ministry, and it's beaten out of them immediately. And it's hard for us in the busy, and got things to do, to just be where we are. So it's just the same for the priest as for anyone else. But what I want to encourage you, don't set something to do 5 minutes after heaven. When you go to heaven, don't plan what you're going to do 5 minutes after heaven finishes. Heaven is meant to last. It's meant to endure. The joyful things and are meant to be enjoyed without putting a hard, fast on them. Simply because we only enjoy something thoroughly, deeply, and relishing it when we give ourselves to it without thinking constantly about when it ends, when it's over. And in the same way, when we come to Mass, we should allot the time to spend with the Lord so that after Mass, we can just take in what we experienced. It's the sign of a healthy parish, and I mean this, it's a sign of a healthy parish when the people don't get up and leave right after Mass. It's a sign of a healthy parish when people at the close of Mass kneel down and spend a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in silence, and then get up and go out. The conversations will wait. The lunch will wait. All the things that I've got to do will wait. If I want to find peace with the Lord, I must give myself to it. And so this is very simply to discover what the one thing is that matters. The Lord wants us to encounter Him, to be with Him, and in that time that we have with Him to discover everything else will take care of itself. Tomorrow is enough for tomorrow's problems. Today is the day of the Lord. And I find that my life is constantly leading from the Mass and leading toward the Mass. That every moment of my week is lived in this joy and the peace of having met God face to face and allowed Him to come into my very being and dwell there. And so I'm living from the Mass. But I'm also living in this great joy and expectation that the week is leading up to the crescendo of the Mass. When you go to daily Mass, you experience this on a daily reality, but it is what we were made for, to be with God. And the more we give ourselves to that being with Him, the more we will discover it's what we're made for. We're anxious and worried. We don't think we are. We don't tell ourselves, I'm so anxious and so worried. Maybe we do. Maybe we should. There is one thing the Lord wants today for you and for me. It's the only thing. If it's the only thing we do today, it was well spent today. And that is that we might be with Him and let Him pause everything so that He can give us peace of heart and then send us back into the world ready to go afresh.